Thank you for tuning in to Gloves Off Seattle. Your hosts, Patti and Meagan, will be talking about all things Seattle women's hockey. A huge Pacific Northwest welcome to the PWHL. Gloves Off Seattle! Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle.
Yay! Okay, so we are the Monday morning before the actual season starts, guys. So we have decided that we're bringing our brain trust Bryan on today to help us. Oh yeah, we got to click. Oh, I'm really full. Holy cow!
Don't spill.
Anyway, to bring Bryan on to help us, we're going to go through. So we've decided that we are going to just go through the lines,
line by
line, and give everybody, just a primer to the team. And we still have all the camp invites, right now.
It's been cut yet.
And we're recording on Sunday night, so we're recording to as close to Monday morning as we can. So
as get it out, you gonna be ready?
I'm gonna be ready. Stop. Right. We're gonna get this out. So anyway, because we don't want to make this a 3-hour long episode, we are gonna move swiftly, people. So don't put us on double speed. So we had the opportunity to be in training camp on Tuesday. Patti and I did, and then Bryan's actually been there all week, so he's got some good intel too. And I think really on Thursday is when you guys saw the lines start forming, and we've seen one preseason game so far.
Watched
stats, but we've kind of seen the lines form that way too. So let's start with our top line. Okay, so why is the hockey newbie doing this? Is it top forward line? What do you call offense? Top offensive line?
Offensive line.
Okay, top offensive line. We're going to start there. And they are, Bryan.
Hillary Knight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Right.
that one, Patti.
I'm Patti.
Yeah. Hillary Knight, Hannah Bilka, and Alex Carpenter.
Right.
With Alex Carpenter
formidable first line.
Centering the three. And that is basically they're not always the top line for Team USA, but they have been top line for Team USA, and certainly all of them have the talent to be such a top line. And they played together, right? Like they played together.
The three of them being a line is
Carpenter
usual.
and Knight have been together many, many times, and then like what we saw in the most recent rivalry series game was, for example, on the power play, a goal by Hillary Knight, assisted by Hannah Bilka. So we've got on Hillary Knight's hat trick game in the rivalry series recently. So this is a line with lots of chemistry together. Certainly the top line for this team, kind of the top line for Team USA, and very, very exciting to watch. I did want to say one thing I wanted to say about Hillary Knight, though, because I don't think I've talked a lot about Hillary Knight, but Hillary Knight's an interesting player because she is one of the greatest players in the world. And sometimes it's just easy to say, oh, she's so great, and her points accolades. But I want to talk a little bit about why she's so great as a player. Because for a new player who's coming to watch a Seattle Torrent game, she's actually not the flashiest player compared to.
I actually noticed that. I noticed that a lot in training camp because, and just for our audience's sake, this was the first time I've ever been to a hockey practice in my life, guys. So this is all new to me. But watching her performance in practice versus other people's performance in practice, I almost felt like she was quiet, in the way that she played and the way that she moved on the ice, which was just interesting to me to watch.
Her game, so compare her to Poulin, whose game is all about flash and amazing plays and clutch. Knight is like hyper efficient, smart, in the right places. She'll get goals on transition. She will score, somewhat exciting goals over the course of the season, but a lot of it is getting to the net, being in right position, positioning yourself in those passing lanes where you're set up to put goals away, and being strong at the net, which are normally attributes you attribute to like a fourth liner or an unskilled player. But she brings all of her size, physicality, and skill, and employs it in just this hyper efficient way. And if you do that properly, you don't need to be Captain Clutch. You just get the goal in the first period, and your team's ahead, and you're doing well. Now,
And
Alex,
we could talk this entire episode about Hillary Knight. But we could talk this entire
yeah,
episode about any of these players. But
but
anyway,
there will not be a lack of excitement because Alex Carpenter and Hannah Bilka both are fireworks, especially Hannah Bilka, who is amazing at really everything and stick handling. I know Corrine Schroeder, when I talked to her, described her as having the trickiest shot on the team, and during practice was deploying all kinds of deeks. So that first line is not going to be for lack of fireworks. Just don't be surprised if Hillary Knight is kind of the quiet mastermind rather than the the
Captain Clutch.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Maestro.
Okay, so we have some fun facts we want to throw out about these players.
Hillary Knight, first female non-goalie to practice with the NHL.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I thought this was really interesting. She chews in college. She chewed 6 pieces of gum before every game. I'm like, why?
is that juicy fruit or
Why?
delicious? Because those are two very
Hey, Hillary, you have to
amounts
tell
of
us.
gum
You have to
in your
know.
mouth.
Inquiring minds want to know. Do you still do this ritual? And what kind of gum is it?
And my fun fact about Hillary Knight is, I guess this is a fun fact. Maybe it's not a fun fact for Boston Fleet fans, but Kyle Cushman was pointing out on his podcast a couple of weeks ago. She was involved in 40% of the Fleet's offense last season, which leads the league in the share of offense contributed to.
Eek, eek,
So,
eek.
Yeah.
when we're
Good
talking
for
about
us.
quiet mastermind, maybe quiet but there's a lot of masterminding going on.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, what about Alex Carpenter? What do we
I
got?
mean, this is a great one. You must have found this one. First girl to play in Morristown, New Jersey Little League in 25 years
Yeah.
as a pitcher, a catcher, and a shortstop.
Baseball. This was baseball. This wasn't softball. She played in baseball. She played in the boys' baseball league. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
First girl to win. First girl to play as a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And her dad played in the NHL, Bobby Carpenter. So that's another.
And my fun fact will be like my keen powers of observation at training camp. Alex Carpenter, very good at hockey.
Yeah,
Thanks, Brian.
I love that fun
Thanks,
fact.
Brian.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Okay, what about Hannah Bilka? What do we got on Hannah?
I love that she kept stats at Fenway Park.
Just random.
Yeah,
This
for a
is
college outdoor game,
random
college game.
Random fun fact about
Yeah.
Hannah Bilka. And I love the fact she's from the Dallas area. She's from Capel, which I lived in Dallas for a number of years, so I know that that's a suburb of Dallas. So she still goes back there in the summertime to coach and to help grow the girls.
Pays it forward.
Yeah,
We love that.
Yeah, super
She
awesome.
was one of the star, and going off of that, we've got a takeover tour game
In
with
Dallas.
Ebella's playing in Texas, so I imagine she'll kind of be the star of that. And as she was
As
sort
she should
of
be.
the star of the Boston versus Montreal takeover tour game in Seattle, where she scored phenomenal goal and was kind of the wowed everyone, and everyone wanted Seattle to draft her first, even though she was drafted second after Annette Terrelova.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, second line.
Yeah, who's on the second line, Brian?
Okay, second line is kind of like the Canadians, right? And this is Serdachny, Danielle Serdachny, and Julia Gosling, and Jesse Eldridge. And what I like about this line is they are extremely skilled, but they also bring some size. In particular, Eldridge and Gosling love to go to the net. I think it's really cool that you've got Serdachny out there, and one or both of Gosling and Eldridge can go to the net and really make themselves present there. And they love to score goals low down in the offensive zone. It's going to be a fascinating line to watch.
Awesome. Love that second line. All right, ready for fun fact?
Yeah, let's do fun facts. Who are we going to do first?
Serdachny.
Serdachny?
Yeah.
You going to do that one?
Dad was skating skills coach for the Oilers for 9 years. Very good pedigree to come from.
I'm from the Edmonton area. Like the Serdachny hockey camps are a big deal around there. So he has that experience, but the family kind of runs hockey camps, and really her and her brothers, really the whole family is sort of involved in that.
I love
Yeah,
that.
well, she co-founded the Rising Raiders Youth Mentorship Program for girls in hockey. So that, that was something that she did, and she was nominated for a Hockey Humanitarian Award. I mean, like, it's ridiculous that these women, like, not only are amazing hockey players, but they're like good humans too.
Love good humans.
What do they keep? Extraordinary. I mean, everybody that talks about them says that they're just amazing. Okay. What do we got on Julia Gosling?
Gosling played on the same club as juniors with her cousin Nicole.
Brother
Yeah,
Love
Nicole.
the family.
who
Go
was
ahead.
just recently drafted
Yes.
and is a defender. So a little bit different than Julia, who is a forward.
Yes.
Yes.
And what
And
else?
she bypassed her final year of eligibility to enter the draft.
Yes.
And I'll also
So,
say about Julia, she's definitely had a international connection with Danielle Serdachny. During training camp, I asked her about this, and she brought up that they'd been playing together internationally since under 18s. So
wow.
Oh, wow.
so
That's
they haven't,
amazing.
but they've been connected through Team Canada, but never on, never in NCAA.
They
But
didn't play
now,
college together or in the PWHL until now.
but they've scored goals as a combo at World Championships and so on. So what we're looking for is for them to kind of recreate that magic on a regular basis with Seattle.
Okay.
Great.
And who
And
was
then
the third
Jesse
on that line?
Eldridge.
Jesse
Eldridge. Oh
Eldridge.
yeah, which she's now quickly becoming one of my favorites.
Hmm.
It was a great. So for those that don't watch our social media, Brian caught a really amazing photo of Jesse Eldridge, and she was looking away from him, and I guess she heard your shudder and turned and like just gave him the biggest grin ever, which was amazing. But then Brian also got to ask her about her pink scrunchie, so it was really cool to hear the story.
Yeah, I saw her pink scrunchie, and I was like, I got, and it was so close, and I had to take a picture of her pink scrunchie. She turned around and gave me this big smile. I was like, okay, what's that about? So in the scrum, I asked her, what's the pink scrunchie about? Is it a luck thing or a superstition thing? And she talked about how in 2019, I guess her mom wasn't able to attend her games, but her mom, who was battling cancer, started making pink scrunchies at night,
Right.
as a hobby, I guess, and sent one to her, and now she wears it every time on the ice,
Yeah.
and it looks really cool and flashy out there. So if you are watching a Seattle Torrent game and you see that pink scrunchie, now
Yep.
you know the
Jesse
story of the
Eldridge.
pink scrunchie.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I love her game day style is run past the camera,
Yeah.
which I know you're going to love that. Although you probably want slow-mo.
She's so funny because she did so well in the media availability. And just knowing that like she just doesn't like the camera, like it just made me laugh. Like I was like, but she did so well in the media availability. But yeah.
Oh, she's amazing. She has
Yeah.
a wonderful personality. There's a whole interview with her that Erica Ayala did on Locked On Kraken, and one of the cool things that we learned on that is that she wanted to be a goalie.
She wants to be a goalie. She
and
wants to be a
plans-
goalie.
And she mentioned even that after her playing days are over, when she's sort of retired from playing forward, she might try being a goalie, which I thought was
I think it's
really
awesome.
good. She really is sweet. That's a great interview if you have it.
Yeah, it was and you did a great job, Brian. We appreciate you
Yep.
being there.
Oh no,
Absolutely.
well the questions, but also like
Oh,
Erica.
Erica
Who's
with
got it
Erica.
about Erica?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
full
yeah.
length thing with Jesse. If what we've said about Jesse kind of piques your interest, go check that out. It's wonderful.
It's a good
Yeah,
one.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Is that our second line?
second line, right? Did we do them
Yeah.
all?
So
Okay,
so-
third line.
Third line.
third line, and Ava, by the way, 365 Hockey Girl, did a great job. We kind of worked together on making sure we got the lines right in
We
training.
appreciate you both.
Thanks, Ava.
Yes, thank you, Ava. Thank you, Brian, for being
Yeah.
there. Well, we were working our jobs.
Jobs.
Is Natalie Snodgrass and friend of the show, Jenna Buglioni.
Oh, of course she's yes, absolutely. They're all friends of the show, but
And
Jenna
Michaela-
is a
and
friend of the
Michaela
show.
Grant and Michaela Grant Mentis
Yes.
on that third line. And what I really like about this line is that they've got Jenna with two veterans who both played. I mean, it's hard to call them veterans because they're actually both fairly young.
Yeah.
Natalie Snodgrass made a point of mentioning in the scrum, like, oh, she's feeling old because she's 27. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, 27. But in terms of women's hockey, professional women's hockey, they are sort of veterans, and both of them played in the PHF, which was kind
Right.
of the league before the professional league we had before the PWHL. Both
Right.
Snodgrass and Grant Mentis did, and they were pretty good scorers in the PHF. Now Jenna Buglioni in between them, at least a training camp, to kind of learn the professional ways from those two players.
Well, and that's an interesting thing that like I'm learning about is that moving from, playing in NCAA, collegiate hockey, it's a different level of play. Like it's a different physicality and all those things. And so these players have to, and even like, and this is something that I don't know if we talked about, I've been thinking about a lot, like even those moving from the international play back to the PWHL, like there's a shift there that they have to make because it's a different physicality of play than they play in these other leagues. And so it's almost like, who's on first? Like, where am I at? Like, who am I playing? Like, how physical can I be? I'm sure that there's some of that. So,
and also I think like the goaltending being and defense beyond the physicality, just the goaltending being at a different tier and the defense being at a different tier kind of means you need to score goals in different ways sometimes. Some of these players might be able to kind of like walk in on a defender in a different league and just kind of like coming on the goalie and score at will with enough skill. That's not exactly how, maybe if you're Marie-Philippe Poulin or that can sometimes work, but if you want to be scoring regularly, you need to be doing things like going to the net. You need to be taking the goalie's eyes away. You need to be doing all those things that that a tight defense isn't necessarily able to counter. And so I look forward to seeing potentially those three or Buglioni and other older players kind of helping her learn the ropes and become as productive in the PWHL as she was in college.
yeah.
Speaking of bugs, I'm going to start with her.
Yeah, let's start with her.
Terrified of raccoons. Terrified.
Poor bugs.
Raccoons.
Yeah.
And she also sang the national anthem at Ohio State, which it's not a secret. It's out there, but very cool fact.
Well, and she talked about when she was on the podcast, she did talk about, her family's musical. And that's something that she definitely was interested in, is still interested in. And, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and also, I think you've mentioned before, her family brings the big heads to the game.
Big
they
heads.
bring the big heads. Yes, there's
the big head.
Yeah. So they're going to be in Vancouver. She is from just outside of Vancouver. But my guess is they're probably also going to come down to, Seattle games, Climate Pledge too. She said that, yeah, well, she said they were applying for the Nexus Pass so they could get through Border Patrol.
Get on that.
We do.
We
really
really
bad. Not this season, next season. Okay, so we know that Snodgrass and Grant Mentis played together in the PHF. What else do we know about them?
Oh, they didn't. Well, I mean, they both played in the PHF.
Oh, they didn't play together?
Oh, I don't think so. But
okay.
Yes, but I would say that with Snodgrass, there's sort of like three players from the PHF that were kind of clustered together in terms of scoring that I was really, as a kind of PHF fan, was really interested when they got drafted in that inaugural season. And Snodgrass was one of them. When Ottawa took her, I was like, oh, this is really smart. Then of the three players in that cluster were Michaela Cava, who just kind of really has excelled as a point scorer. Yeah. and burned us last night in the preseason game. Michaela Grant Mentis, who I think struggled in her first year in the PWHL. She ended up kind of getting cut by Montreal.
And then, I know. I feel like she's a little bit of a, she's a little bit of a dark horse. Like that's the kind of how I feel about her. I'm like, I feel like there's a little unknown, like a little question mark, because I don't feel like there's.
I think she's ready to shine too.
Okay.
But I think she found her game in the second season. And Snodgrass, I feel similarly. Erica asked in the scrum, like, is this a chance to sort of reset? And I think this could be a good opportunity for her to to earn a more prominent role. She certainly has a lot of skill. And I was also thinking that maybe Lexia Gio would be up on that third line with them. Because she's a little bit bigger and more obviously stronger for two smaller players like Buglioni and Grant Mentis. But physically, Snodgrass is no slouch. She may not be, toweringly huge, but she's very, very strong and physical and also fast, which is good for keeping up with Grant Mentis and Buglioni.
Yeah. Okay.
Fourth line.
Oh, did we talk about Grant Mentis?
Oh, we didn't
Oh.
really. No. I'm sorry. Other than the fact that they were both in the
We don't want to skip
PHF.
over Bucky.
right.
She was absolutely the first. She was the first Black player to win the MVP award in the PHF, which I just think that that's amazing and want to throw that out there. So,
And her nickname is Bucky.
yes, I saw that somewhere and I'm like, why?
Why?
Do you know
Why is
why,
it Bucky?
Because I think she has a twin sister, and when they got kind of like suited up for hockey, the sister thought that her hockey helmet looked Bucky. Like
Okay.
Bucky. But anyway, that nickname stuck. So Bucky is definitely the nickname for
Great. I
Michaela
love a good
Grant.
nickname.
Yeah, that's easier than Grant Mentis. Sorry. I'm sorry. I have a hyphenated last name too. I feel you. It's painful.
And we talked about how she kind of found her footing in Montreal next year, and maybe even ready to go to another level in Seattle as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Snodgrass?
We talked. Well, I guess what I mentioned about Snodgrass earlier. Just
Oh yeah.
there's actually a really great interview with Snodgrass with Chris Sinclair, who's a women's hockey reporter out of Ottawa. That one of my favorite player interviews conducted with a women's hockey player, and I think part of it that was my favorite was when she described the folding of the PHF and how that affected her emotionally. And she didn't know what was going to happen to her next in her career. But fortunately, she kept at it. And here she is a few years later with this opportunity in Seattle.
And CJ mentioned that too.
I was just going to say that
process.
Yeah, there was definitely grieving because I think that they all just when it folded, I think that those that were playing in the league, it was just one of I think they felt like the rug was getting pulled out from underneath them. So,
but they found their footing again. So that's
they
good.
did absolutely.
All right, fourth line.
Okay, so we got Lexia Gia, we've got Lily Delianides, and we've got Jada Habish. So this is a line that's probably going to be potentially the most in flux, one or two. If there is a camp invite that's going to snag a role, it's probably going to be on that line. But in training camp, at any rate, that's who we saw together.
Well, and Delianides and Habish are not signed currently. So, no, I know. I'm in case people don't know. I know Brian. I'm just saying like that Lexia Gia is signed, but we're now moving into the unsigned players. So these are the ones that kind of we have a question mark around.
Fighting for their jobs.
Yeah, fighting for their jobs right now.
And this is a line which is a really interesting mix of skill, and I mean Lexi is definitely skilled, but also physical. But we can go through them one at a time because they're all fascinating and
as a fourth line should be.
Let's start with Lexi.
Yes.
Okay, so what do we know about her?
Go
oh, you want me to go?
Yeah.
I thought my fun fact that I grabbed that she had cancer before she started in the PWHL. Yeah. And I thought that was like, it was right before training camp started for her. She had, a tumor removed and then she started training, which I was just like, holy crap. Like, that's a lot.
Wow.
And she had a great first year with PWHL Ottawa as well. She kind of went on a hot streak. She was like scoring a whole bunch. She also went a little viral because she attended a kid's birthday party. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
I guess she made friends with the mother and she just kind of showed up at the front door with some hockey sticks. It was awesome. It was incredibly charming. But she's I think she is very underrated. One of the things I noticed from her in training camp is just, and I mean this is obvious just from watching her training videos, she is a very strong player and has a very strong defensive stick. Like when she's when she was doing things in the defensive zone during the drills, like there's no question against a bunch of these players, she's just taking the puck away from you. Like there's no stopping it. She's also, I think, she was involved in one of the first PWHL trades that had her going from Ottawa to Boston, which was kind of interesting. And
was that during the first season?
Yeah, I believe that was during the first season.
Okay.
There's so much that's happened.
Oh yeah, no.
But
we're not in our 18th season right now. It feels like we are.
She's been involved in a trade before. She's a real pro. Also, like she spent a bunch of time down Tennessee because she's in a relationship with a professional football player,
Yes.
which is very cool. And like she's done some professional modeling work, I guess. So,
Absolutely. I would say she's, secondary to Mariah, and only Mariah Keppel gets, our fashion queen because she literally has a fashion line.
yeah.
But Lexi definitely is a contender, and I'm sure the walk-ins are going to be out of this world. I can't wait. I
Yes.
cannot wait. So yes, that is Lexi. Okay. So then
Lily.
Lily,
yeah, let's talk
Lily.
about yeah.
So something. This is from another Chris Sinclair interview. He did one with Katie Chan, and Katie Chan mentioned that Lily had the aux cable. If you ever hear that term, who has the aux cable? That's
What is
kind of the locker room DJ.
like auxiliary? Oh, aux,
Auxiliary cable.
AUX, aux cable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was thinking at first, I'm like, OX, like, oh, what does that mean? I get it. Who's
Yeah, who
piping the
has the aux
music?
cable?
Who's piping the music in? I get it.
I'm
Yes.
guessing it's probably done over Wi-Fi these days,
Yes,
but
probably so.
but at Cornell, and also Katie mentioned she did a good job.
Yeah.
She's a good DJ.
That's
And
awesome.
also, she had one of the things that we were like trying to figure out things about her when she got drafted, but she was sixth among draft eligible NCAA forwards in the draft, which is usually means good defense because it means that while you're on the ice, there are fewer shot attempts going at your net than they are at the other net. So you're both generating attempts against and you're limiting attempts for the other team. So I was thinking, oh, like 200-foot forward, this is
Great
good. But
player.
at camp, she was definitely flashing her stick handling skill. He tried to go.
Well, I mean, and they're fighting for their jobs. Like you're going to
Yes.
pull all the
Well,
stops,
I mean, but
right? Like
between
you're
the
not going to hold anything
but
back.
but between the legs on a deke when she got a big chance, and she was trying to she was really showing that she
hot
definitely
dogging
has
it.
some ability to handle the puck at speed that impressed me. So I hope that she doesn't lose a little bit of that chutzpah, and even though she's just a rookie, because that can be incredibly useful for teams. So that kind of leapt out at me in the training camp was her stick handling ability. Because I was thinking defensive forward, but then she came out.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, she's got the
Sean?
moves.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, Habish.
What about Habish?
I have one fact on her.
Yeah. She was hard.
This was-
I looked and it was hard for me to find anything, which, I'm like, more power to you if you're keeping your life secret.
This is one that was pulled up by Natalia on the PWHL Discord.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you.
Yeah.
Natalia.
Has never had more assists than goals in a season, including in high school. You go all the way back. She had one season where she had the same number. Yeah.
Is that so here's my question, the newbie question. Like, is that unusual for a
It is
forward?
extremely
Okay.
unusual. Think about
Not
it.
for a defense, maybe, but for a forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about it. Like on every goal, there's 2 assists, right? So for every point that's scored.
Okay, no.
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 Not every goal.
Oh,
Some
I was
goals
like,
are
every
unassisted,
goal.
some goals are
That's
one
true.
assist.
That's right,
Most.
Patty. On the
Okay, I'm
majority
sorry.
of goals.
I'm like, kaboom.
You can score unassisted and you can score off of only having 1 assist. So Patty's right.
Okay.
I'm getting corrected by Patty. This is great.
Wow, what's
wow.
going on?
This is
Something's
fantastic. But no, Patty's absolutely right.
One
but
day, I'm going to be the
most
person
goals-
correcting.
most goals have 2 assists for the goal, so it's a little bit easier to get assists than it is to get goals. But in this case, with Jada, unless Elite Prospects is wrong, which has been for us we've had experience with that before. Usually, it's not wrong with goals and assists, though. Yeah. There's one season where she had the same number of goals as assists, and that's it. Every other time. So I'm thinking pure sniper. Like, what's going on here? So I don't know. That's something to watch. Haven't seen enough of her video of her from college. So
yeah.
But something to watch for, because it seems like she's good. Definitely has a nose for the net and specific talent for getting a bunch of goals. So that's good.
Okay,
All
so
right, we ready to go to defense?
well, wait. Do we want to go through the forwards that are not on the line?
Oh, we can really quickly.
Yeah, let's do them real quick. So
Real
who are the
quick.
forwards that are not on the line? Because that's
Well, go ahead.
We got Brooke Bryant.
right.
Who's
Yeah.
Potentially a reserve player. She's got the most PWHL experience because she has 2 years with
Minnesota.
2 years with Minnesota.
Yeah, 2 years in Minnesota.
But definitely in a depth role. Like she had games in the playoffs where she got 0 minutes. She was literally stapled to the bench. But she's there, and Meg Turner spoke very highly of her, not just as a player, which you need to be in order to get you invited to one of these camps, but also as a person and a teammate. So,
And she was a Lady Duck.
Yeah,
yes,
like that's her other fun fact about her. She was a lady duck.
We have to get that in there.
She's one of the, I think there's three.
There are three.
Yeah,
well, there are 3 Lady Ducks, but there are three from Southern California.
Right.
Barnes was never. Yeah,
But
Barnes.
that's like that's like if they played hockey in Southern California, they were a lady duck.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's got two. She's the only PWHL champion on the roster in training camp.
Wow.
2 times.
Well, it's because we put our nose up at the frost left, right, and center. I mean, come on. Like we're like, no, we are not. No, we are not.
But she's interesting because she does have professional experience and is good in the locker room and might be a good 13th forward, might be a good reserve player, or maybe another player takes a look at her after the training. Another team takes a look at her after the training camp's over. But she has the most experience professionally.
Okay. Talk about Wallen.
Olivia Wallen.
Yes. Olivia Wallen is famously the self comp, the Corey Perry self comparison.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was when we went through our draftees because she was drafty. I remember. I'm like, wait, where does that story come from? That's coming from us. We pulled that out. I think we pulled it out of a interview that she did, a college interview that she did, where she compared herself to Corey Perry.
And it was a point per game player. So this is interesting. Point per game player in the NCAA last season. But then, and I kind of expected her to go higher in the draft just based on her offensive production. But she dropped to the second to last pick in the draft. So interesting, that drop. I'm not sure what caused that, but she did get drafted, and she does have this offensive pedigree. But that's something in the back of my head, like why did that happen? Usually, there were a lot of players with fewer points per game drafted ahead of her. So does that speak to defensive liabilities? Like, what is that? Not sure, but I was thrilled to get her just because like a depth offense is something that this team is going to need, and it's hard to score in the PWHL. So if you're having trouble doing it in college, it could spell trouble in the PWHL. But she didn't seem to have a lot of trouble scoring in college, so that's a good sign.
Okay, who else? Zumwinkle?
That's champion adjacent. Her sister played in Minnesota, so it's a little. That's like
There are pictures of her with there are pictures of her with the Walter Cup.
There you go. That's
it's gonna rub off on our team. Is that what's going on?
And recruited to Ohio State. There was a couple people that we had that changed colleges in their last year.
Yeah, went to Ohio. Cool.
And that's a good sign because Nadine Mazerall, so first of all, that's just an excellent program that's tough to break into. You need to be very talented to do that. And for someone like Nadine Mazerall, who's the coach over there at Ohio, to I guess recruit you to their team is definitely a high mark. So I don't know if she'll make the team or anything like that this year, but definitely an interesting player to watch because of that NCAA pedigree and specifically Ohio State pedigree.
Is there any more forwards that we need to talk about?
Wagner?
Well, Zumwinkle's a defender, so we're already.
Oh, I'm already in defense.
Yeah, sorry. Is Mara Wagner? She's a forward, isn't she?
Yes. So Mara Wagner.
Is it Mara, not Mara?
I don't.
Okay, well, apologies if we're pronouncing it incorrectly. Let us know.
But she is originally from the Seattle area.
Yes,
played hockey here.
She's making great TikToks about training camp days. Like her TikToks are amazing. So I'm like, I need her on the team just so we can get an inside look at what's going on.
I need you to share those with me because I'm not.
Okay, that's right. You're not on TikTok, right?
Yes.
I miss out on all that good stuff. But she has also has professional experience. So after Seattle, she kind of went to Canada for a bit, in BC to improve her hockey skills, and then eventually went through college and played in Sweden
In
recently.
Sweden. Yeah, she was
And
part
one
of the Swedish.
and one of the things I noticed about that was her they trusted her with shootout responsibilities, which is indicative of like a high level of skill. And
Yeah.
there's a clip of her scoring a shootout goal, which I was like, she definitely has a good shot. Like looking through her highlights, she definitely is a sniper, I would say.
Mm.
Um, I can't speak for the rest of her game because I just don't know enough about it. But like, it's always good to be able to shoot the puck well. And yeah, I'm very interesting. Coupled with that
Yeah.
pro experience, could be a good reserve player or 13th forward. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
We'll see.
All
Okay.
right,
Is
defender.
there any more forwards? I just want to make sure we covered all the forwards.
I think we did, but Brian will
yeah.
tell me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
Okay.
Well, if we miss them,
We'll
we'll
get back to them.
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Okay, so let's go defense. What's the first line defense?
So that was interesting. So that was Terralova and Barnes. Now we thought uh, that it would be Wilgren and Barnes because they often played together in Montreal, and there's some built-in chemistry there potentially. But they
Mm.
decided to go with Terralova and Barnes, which is, I mean, Terralova is fantastic defender, so that's definitely uh, top pairing.
We just proclaimed on another podcast that she should have an A on her jersey. I just want to put that out there. Like
Yeah, like when I talked with her in the scrum, she definitely her like I think she's a bit sensitive about this, but her English is I think it's amazing. It's certainly better than my
Oh, I've heard her
better than
interviews.
my
She does
chat.
really well. She does
But
really well. Yeah.
she does really well, but it is not her first language. But certainly from all the non verbal ways, she is a leader on the ice. She
Yeah.
brings physicality. She sets tone. She's aggressive and focused at all times and has incredible skill. She uh, on Discord, there's a Emerald City Hockey Discord. The username Chuck built a little quadrant of our defenders, and she was the only one that was above league medium in both points per 60 and hits per 60. So we're looking at offense combined with physicality, and you could see it even in training camp. Like she was not holding back in training camp, and set a tone in a way that I think like a good leader should. So the idea of giving her an A, and also captain for Team Czechia. So we know that she is
right.
even if she doesn't get a letter on her chest, I think
She's a
she
leader.
will be a
She'll be
leader.
a leader for sure.
She's gonna
For
be.
sure.
She already is a leader on this team.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
her favorite color is black.
Her favorite color is black, and she wanted to be a goalie. Those are our two fun facts about Terralova.
What are we collecting all these players who want to be goalies?
I know. I love it. I love it because I'm a goalie girl. So
I think that's
let's bring
a
it.
good character trait to want to be a goalie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Kayla Barnes. She was a Lady Duck.
She was a Lady Duck.
Southern California
Absolutely.
lady. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Kayla Barnes is basically Olympian, champion, a elite defender, one of the best players in the world.
And she's tiny. Let's talk about how tiny she is. Like it blows my mind that she can be effective as a defender as short statured as she is because of the largeness of some of these other women. I'm just like, how? But I'm excited to see her play. I'm excited to see her play because but it just says so much about her, right? That she can be 5'2", 5'3", whatever she's listed as, and then play against these 5'10", 5'11" women and be effective as a defender.
Win the battles.
I think that's
it's skating and having the mental acuity to be ahead of the play.
Yeah.
And she and her, she's smaller in stature. She's not above league medium in hits per 60, definitely. But she has the highest scoring rate of points per 60 of any defender on the team. So think of her as an offensive weapon that has the speed to get back and do good work defensively as well, to the level where she's trusted by Team USA in important situations.
And as someone who had asthma from when I was a very small child, she has exercise-induced asthma, which that's
impressive
amazing.
that she can play.
Yeah,
and have that
and be as good as she is.
Yeah. So yeah, right now in training camp with Turtlova, maybe Wilgren gets connected back up with her again. But if you want to talk about Anna Wilgren,
So that's line two. So we're moving on to the second line, right?
yeah, if you're ready.
Anna
Yep, let's
Wilburn.
go.
So
Yeah,
so
we're
Yeah, make
running
it
out.
snappy.
so we had Wilgren
Mm.
and oh my gosh, was it Brown? Well, let's just do Wilgren and Brownie.
I think it was. I think it was Wilgen and Brown.
It
I
was
believe.
Wilgren and
Yes,
Brown.
yes, 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 yes.
So Anna Wilgren, one of the questions I asked in Scrum of Hannah Murphy was which player on the team had the hardest shot, and I don't know if she was joking or not, but she called out Anna Wilgren with Anna Wilgren in the room, which was quite humorous. But whether her shot actually is the hardest on the team, she definitely puts up a lot of points. She's right there behind Kayla Barnes in terms of points per 60. And definitely.
Wait. We've said this a couple times. What is points per 60? What does that mean?
Okay, so there's different ways of calculating stats. One is you just count the number of like assists or goals someone has over the season, but that doesn't account for playing time, right? So if you're a player with a low amount, if you're a player with a low amount of playing time, you might not get many points, even though you're really good, right? And if you're a player that's not really good, you may just generate a lot of assists just from like being out there,
a lot.
right? So sometimes what we like to do is like look at rate stats. Now, obviously, there are different things that impact rate stats, like whether you're on the power play most of the time, or whether you're on the penalty kill most of the time, or whether you're being deployed against your opponent's toughest versus the weakest opposition. So all these things go into like maybe mitigating how accurate points per 60 or any stat per 60 reflects how good a player you are. But it is sometimes just better than the raw numbers. It also counts for injury, right? If you get injured during the season,
right? Well, it's playing. I get it. Playing time, like stats divided by playing time. That makes sense to me.
Okay. Sorry.
No, I'm glad. Like I'm like, well, you said it twice, and I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. I should stop and ask the question. Okay, so
good at that.
What's our fun fact about Anna Wilgren?
She also plays tennis.
She does. I love it.
Maybe that's where she gets the hard shot from.
Maybe that's where she gets the hard shot from.
Maybe.
But she's also a Team USA player, an Olympian as well, and she was along with Barnes on the all rookie team for they give awards at the end of the year for like the best rookies, and she was on the all.
I like your.
I know I have to say this, and I don't understand it, but I'm going to say it. Something that I found out about Anna Wilgren is she finishes the all-time leading scorer in the Hudson program. But she's a defender.
Yeah.
Like, how is that even a thing?
It's amazing.
How is it possible?
Maybe it's that hard shot. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's some defenders like Cale Makar, or like famously, like if you want to go all the way back to the 1970s, like Bobby Orr, who are just so good at skate. It often has to do with skating, their ability to move with the puck, that they almost. They can kind of be anywhere on the ice safely, and that can lead to a lot of surprises for the opposing team, and that can lead to a lot of offensive production while still being defensively responsible.
So cool.
All right.
Okay, Emily Brown.
Emily Brown.
We know everything about Emily. She was on the show, so I'm like,
yeah, our first guest.
She likes to hike. She likes to be outdoors.
Loves coffee.
And she loves coffee.
And is a trained engineer.
Not a trained
engineer.
Well, it's funny because Cameron was chirping about Vancouver having a doctor and an engineer, and I was like, "Oh, hold my beer, I got you. We got a lot going on over here." So.
Yeah.
And she said it was okay if I called her Brownie. I think she liked.
Yes, she enjoys being called Brownie. She told us the same. So.
Yeah,
and it sounds like she went hiking recently to Bridal Veil Falls. So.
Yes, which was one of the.
Although places... I think aren't like really waterfall hikes better in the spring.
They probably are. I was trying. So she asked me for some recommendations, and I was like, "Let me find some moderate ones. Like, I don't want to kill her. Like,
she hasn't got her hiking poles yet.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to send her out on something and her get like hurt.
So. Although sometimes those trails are a little like overfilled during the spring for the waterfall hikes. So
yeah, she's gonna thank me that she got it in before the season started. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
All right.
Who's next? What's the next line?
Let's Keppel. Oh, good.
Who's the next line? Who's the
So we had they had this was interesting. So they had Megan Carter with Lily Yotevich.
Okay.
Yeah, and with some of these camp invites, I'm not great on the pronunciation, so
Nah, yeah. Okay,
apologies.
apologies. Yeah, we're apologizing
All
if we say
apologize.
your name incorrectly.
Yeah, but so I kind of we'll talk about Megan Carter, but I want to talk about Lily a little bit because like she is Canadian, born in Canada, but her family is from Los Angeles
Oh,
and
interesting.
lives in Los Angeles.
She,
So
she was a lady duck too, wasn't
She,
she?
yeah,
was she a lady duck?
she was a lady duck,
Oh yeah,
but
she was.
not and so was Brooke Bryant, but not at the same time. They like missed each other by a
Oh,
little.
by like a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I thought
Megan,
that that was interesting, and she, I think, has maybe her being put up there with Megan Carter is maybe a good sign for her going forward as a potential camp surprise. We'll see though. But that was neat to see.
well, then
Um,
Megan Carter, our fun facts are she had a 4.0 GPA for her
4.0.
BS
yeah,
in biology. So yeah, take that, Cameron. We got smarties on our team too.
and I think she's pre-med. I think her plan is to maybe become a doctor after her hockey career. Not doing it at the same time like Claire Thompson does,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
but it's a little different because Claire Thompson didn't have the she had some time without the professional league,
Yeah.
being an opportunity, whereas Megan Carter is jumping on that opportunity a little bit more immediately. It's a little bit different situations academically, but um,
She was
Meg,
also an ultimate frisbee star. I would just want to
yeah,
say that.
and
Ultimate
also
frisbee.
in the primary tenant pod chaos draft where they did a mock draft,
Mm.
selected first overall for Seattle in their mock draft because primary tenant pod is a fan
Yeah, they love Megan Carter.
Megan Carter. I think
Yeah,
that she looks better in teal than in blue. So,
of course.
or
Of
maybe that
course.
was Terra Lova.
No,
Whatever.
that was Terra
That
Lova.
was
They
No,
terrible.
no, no,
love.
no.
They love
That was Will trying to make themselves feel better about Terra Lova being on our team and not on
yeah.
Vancouver. So,
Yeah.
Suffice to say, we have two defenders that they are rightfully jealous of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Be jealous. Great.
All right. Who
Okay.
next
Is
one?
there a fourth line?
Is
Is there a fourth defensive line?
or are we just on
Oh, so they had
camp invites?
Keppel. So Keppel was
Oh, yeah. Keppel. That's right.
doesn't necessarily mean that Keppel's going to be the seventh defender. They may have just been like prepping for the preseason games by getting Jutevich in there with Carter. I anticipate Keppel being like probably a bottom pairing defender, but still in that top six group. But I mean, like, there's so many fun facts about Mariah Keppel.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
we just had her on the podcast. So
Yeah.
go listen to Mariah Keppel's episode if you want to know about
It
her.
was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But oh my
Yeah.
gosh, just learned to sew during COVID and now she's a fashion designer.
Yeah. No,
Like
it's
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. That's what she did with her free time during COVID. She was like, I'll teach myself to sew. I'm like,
And did a
okay.
darn good job.
And did a
Thanks,
great
Grandma.
job. Yeah. No.
Oh, I just realized one of the forwards we missed. Now that we kind of are getting to the end of the defenders,
Yeah.
I missed Sydney Langstaff. So I want to talk about Sydney Langstaff.
Okay, you got 2 minutes. Go.
Yeah.
2 minutes. So something I noticed about her is that she kind of had a bad, like the year before her draft, she kind of fell off a little bit in NCAA, but she had only 4 goals and 17 assists in 37 games in her last season, like her pre-draft season. But the season before that, she had 32 and 38, which is pretty good. So I don't know what happened in that last year, but sometimes players can like struggle for a year. But that year before her draft year, very strong and very promising. So I really like that camp invite because it's kind of like looking a little bit deeper in their history to try to find a diamond in the rough. So I definitely like that. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And Ian Kennedy talks about in his pre-draft coverage, talked about her being capable of playing bottom 6 minutes. So that's a good show.
What does that mean? Bottom 6 minutes.
It's the lower end of the minutes.
Like this is the third.
Time.
So I get it. She doesn't have a lot of ice time. Okay.
Well, yeah, but bottom 6 is like, so you have your top 2 lines. Each line is 3 players, right? So it's your top 6 are the top 2 lines, and your bottom 6 are the.
Okay, got it.
For a team like Seattle, which is a little bit more stacked because of the expansion process, maybe bottom 6 for her really means bottom 3 or fourth line, but Kennedy anyway seemed to think that she was capable enough.
Cool. Do we talk about Lindy Lobdell?
I don't think so.
I don't
Yes,
think
we
so
must
either.
talk about Lindy Lobdell.
Okay, let's talk about her real quick, and then we gotta do
Yeah.
goalies and be done.
We got to
Yeah.
go.
So Lobdell was interesting because she played at Penn.
Mhm.
And I don't think a lot of players got drafted out of there. They're sort of in a different division from some of the heavy hitters. But in but she had the we talked about Corsi a little bit earlier with Delianidis, but she had the fifth best Corsi among draftable NCAA defenders, and she's also the right shot, right? Which
Right.
provides her a lot of opportunity on the team for potentially cracking the lineup, either in the bottom pairing. I think more likely as the seventh defender, because she is a right shot, but so is Jutevich. We brought in a bunch of righties as camp invites and so on to sort of like pad out the leftatorium.
The leftatorium.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right, goalies.
Okay, yeah. So let's start at the top. I'm going to say her name wrong again. Corinne. No. Corrine Schroeder. Yes.
Corrine the Queen.
Corrine the Queen.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good way to
Love it.
remember. Corrine the Queen. Okay, Corrine Schroeder.
Yes. So Corrine played. So fun facts. So first of all, shutout leader of the league.
Shutout
Schroeder.
Shutout Schroeder.
Yeah. Some of Sirens fans like to call her Eggs because she did ads for Manitoba.
Manitoba egg. I've seen these. Yes.
She's powered by eggs, and and also, I mean, shutouts. Goose eggs.
Oh
right?
yeah.
That's where I went with eggs.
Yeah.
It's
3 degrees. Cameron. One of them being an MBA. One of them being an MBA. Thank
Schroeder
you.
also played with Aneta Terlova on the Boston Pride in the PHL before being a PWHL player, and I believe they're staying together, like they're rooming together.
Oh, cool!
Love it.
Yeah, I asked Terlova about their connection in Scrum, and Terlova mentioned that she's staying with Schroeder as a former teammate. So I think that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Anything else on Schroeder that you want?
I don't know. I mean, I think that the reality is we think, I think we can just say out loud, she's our number one goalie. And that's our prediction is that she's going to be number one goalie. So now the question is who's going to be number two, but we'll go to Hannah Murphy next, just because I think that, we have a lot and a little to say about CJ, but let's talk about Hannah Murphy.
So, Hannah Murphy, was the first goaltender taken in the draft.
Yes.
Had really, I think, phenomenal. If you just look at save percentage, had a phenomenal collegiate career, and is also pretty young. I think
she's the youngest on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's only 22.
Yeah. So we're so definitely a little bit even among the rookies, the draft picks, young and sort of has an opportunity, I think, to learn behind Schroeder. I think they have some similar attributes. Although I asked in Scrum, Meg Turner, she described it as like Schroeder is a larger, more blocking positional goalie.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ is kind of smaller and more athletic, reaction kind of goalie. And Hannah Murphy is somewhere in between those two. Is how Meg Turner described it. And I think also Hannah Murphy is becoming a little bit famous now for her trench coat. I don't know if you've seen her walk. It's kind of her look. She's got this.
She was wearing it at the fashion show, so we did see it. She was wearing it at the fashion show. She was wearing it over her.
She wore it to the fashion show. She wore it to the watch party. She wore it as her walk-in fit. It's kind of her trademark.
You need a good trench coat.
Yeah, she got it. Well, and her and Jenna Buglioni are roommates, so we do know that. We've seen them, and they are dog sitters too, because they watched Kayla Barnes' dog while she was out of town. So
Murphy. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Patti.
She was a captain of the Colgate.
Yeah, she was captain in Colgate, which also was like that's our
come on.
as a goalie, which is unusual. So it's very we also know she's a leader, so that's super cool. So
she also came up to Ava at the watch party and seemed very excited about having got her library card. I think maybe this is
love it.
Her library card. That's so cute.
Yes.
I just I had to share that because it's
I
great,
love
and that's
it.
kind of making yourself a Seattleite. You know,
Absolutely.
you gotta
She's
get
here. You gotta get your library card.
Yeah.
exactly.
All right, let's close it out.
Okay, last one, the last person on the roster, CJ. What do we have to say? I think it's really funny. So we made a spreadsheet, guys, and I have to just tell the audience that they didn't see this, but on the spreadsheet, the only thing we have listed for CJ is badass.
Yeah.
That's our fun fact.
I mean, you kind of don't
CJ is a
need to
badass.
say more, but I mean, but Carly Jackson. Oh my! Like, where do you even start? I mean, okay, so like I'm just assuming someone's listening to this that's never heard about Carly Jackson before.
I don't even know
Who
how
would that
that.
be?
Who would be
What
the
rock have
that's
they
not
been living
no,
under?
that's not possible. Let's just forget that. But I will say, Carly is acting like in a
Yep.
short film. I really hope that
Oh
Pink
gosh, I
Light,
hope it gets seen out
Yeah,
here.
we hope we can get
I
a
really
showing of
hope
it
that
out
there's
here. Yeah.
a screening in Seattle at some point. Carly is the charisma is off the like. Let's just say that had an amazing scrum answer for about inclusivity and making
Well, and that's their platform, which is what's
Yeah.
really cool. Is like I appreciate the fact that like they understand they have a platform because of because of being a professional athlete and being an actor now and all these things. And they're like, okay, how can I use my platform now? And I think that this is the answer. The answer is it's for inclusivity. It's about how do I make people feel like they, they belong no matter where they're at. And I think that's amazing. So
and also a heck of a goalie.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, they play hockey as well.
Right. Didn't get a lot of opportunity in the previous couple seasons, but did get into some games for Toronto, including that Pride Night game.
Yeah.
Only let in one goal and then shut out in the shootout to win the game. Great moment, but in training camp, looking good, looking very strong on the puck and positionally sound. Just it'll be interesting. That backup goalie battle is going to be very interesting, but definitely potential for both Murphy and for Jackson to get starts.
Well, and CJ got a period last night in the preseason. So and the the preseason game is going on right now as we're talking. So
Does anyone know the score?
I don't have no idea what the score is.
Don't make me look. I'm so scared after.
Oh no. Oh no, we're gonna get a live reaction. Maybe we shouldn't do
live
this.
reaction. I'm pulling it up. Seattle 2, Vancouver 0.
Okay, calm down.
On that note,
I was like, we gotta calm
been great.
Okay. No, but if you've stuck with us this long, we really appreciate you. We wanted to save obviously, some of the best for last, but also we love our team. We are so excited. We are like 5 sleeps away from our first real game that we're all going to. So we will have next week is going to be all about that Vancouver game. We'll get on here and tell you guys more about it. But Bryan, oh my gosh,
thank you so
much. Thank you. We appreciate it.
I hope the people who watched it learned a lot about the players. Now, when you see them on the ice, you're gonna have a little
tidbit.
A little tidbit. You'll know a little bit more about them.
Love
Wonderful.
It.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
And that's the show. Tune in next time for another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.